It's Wednesdays with Wade. San Antonio Brahmas head coach Wade Phillips joins the Blitz every Wednesday for an inside look at your San Antonio Brahmas. Now, here's the Blitz with Wade Phillips.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1, San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. Wednesdays with Wade. Coach Wade Phillips joining us now on the Buyers Barricades guest line. How's your Wednesday, Coach?
Good. I'm sorry I'm late on this thing, but I had some work to do. I know you guys don't know anything about that, but
well, I'm just curious, Coach. What is the punishment when you're late to a meeting?
Yeah, well, when the head coach is late, it's no problem.
Great answer. That's a great answer. Well, Coach, it's finally here. It's game week. All the hard work you guys have been putting in, you finally get to show it off on Saturday. You guys ready to go?
Yeah, we are. Yeah, we practice against each other enough. We're ready to and play a ball game. Practice is practice, but that's why we're here, is play ball game, play the games, and that's where the players have fun, and it's an exciting time for us.
When you think about first games are always tough because all the different changes, but I look at Arlington, Luis Perez back as their quarterback, and, you know, as talented as he is, from a defensive mind like yours, does that make it easier since you've played against Luis so many times?
No. I mean, you know, he led the league in passing last year, and the year before he won the championship, in the XFL. So he's just tough to play against. I really like Luis as a person. He's a great guy. We're going to try to keep him from, scoring touchdowns on us. But he's a talented guy in this league that shows what he can do. He's a great pocket passer. He's not a scrambler, but he is a pocket passer that I think he had one of the highest passing percentages last year, and he led the league in passing. So he's tough to play against.
Well, Coach, we were fortunate enough to be able to talk to your quarterback, Kellen Mond, a few minutes ago, and great audible, by the way, stepped in for you very, very nicely. But he says that he's really developed a good relationship with the wide receivers over the last 3 weeks. Have you noticed that?
I have, yeah. I mean, basically, a lot of times you have a lot of new players in this league, and so you're almost starting over as a team and melding together, and everybody knowing what the other person can do and how they can help each other. So, yeah, I think he's coming along real well there with the receivers we have.
You know, when we talked to you last week, when you announced him as your starter, you talked about his ability to run and his maturity level. When you watch him play, knowing what he did at A&M, been in a couple of different systems in the NFL, does he just have that look to him? He seemed to have that presence today versus like when we talked to him at the beginning of camp.
Yeah, he's a natural, what I call him natural. I mean, he can throw the ball really well, and then if it's not there, he can run with it really well, and then you have designed running plays that help your running game overall. We've got really good backs, and we had a really good running game with the same two backs we have last year. So he just adds another dimension there.
Coach, when you look at your team, and obviously these guys, a lot of them are trying to get the reps, get better, and get back into the NFL or get to the NFL. When you look at your roster and your team, and without obviously naming names, are there guys that you see that have that NFL talent that probably will be back in the league and versus some that maybe not?
Yeah, I mean, and not all of them are playing to get back in the NFL. Some of them just want to keep playing football because they love football, which those are kind of good guys to have too, because but they're focused and they're listening to the coaches and trying to get help that way too. So, yeah, you got all kinds of guys, and we have talented guys. We have more talent than we had last year. I will say that. We don't have any better coaching, but we have more talent. So that should help us
Well, when you already have the best coaching, it doesn't get better because you're already at the top.
Well, nice,
Yeah,
nice.
Wade Phillips
Okay,
joining
come
us.
on.
Yeah, here on the Blitz. Well, you're still 0-0. I mean, go out and win, right? No,
There you go. There you go. Yeah.
Well, see, there's nothing armchair yet. What's this week like for you? I know you've got to get the game plan ready, but there's so much involved in the TV side of things, and this game on Saturday, 3:00 on Fox. Do you have additional production meetings just because it's week one? What do we expect as a TV audience to be different this year in the UFL?
Yeah, I had an extensive meeting with them yesterday, so they're very thorough. And Kurt Menefee is going to be one of the announcers, who is one of my favorites and one of the best, I think, what he does. So they're getting ready, and we are too.
Are you ready for that in-game interview, Coach? I mean, have you practiced that?
I think I need a little more work on that. Yeah.
Well, I mean, you're so nice, but sometimes the looks can be like, "Did you really just ask me that in the middle of the game?"
Yeah. Well, it wasn't that. It was, did you really second guess me? And with 2 minutes left in the game, why wouldn't you go for it on fourth down? I said, well, we had 3 timeouts. If we stop them, and we did stop them and get another chance. We didn't end up winning the game, but yeah, I didn't like that part of it.
Good stuff. Wade Phillips joining us here on the Blitz Wednesdays with Wade every Wednesday during the UFL season. It's a road game, but you don't have to travel. Is that good for you guys just to be able to get this first game, or would you rather be able to get on a plane, go somewhere, and get that part of the routine down?
Well, I'd rather go to the Alamo Dome and play, obviously, but our first 4 games are on the road, so we talked about being road warriors, and it's still tough to go on the road, even though this is right here. But they practice at that stadium all the time, and then there will be some San Antonio fans there, though. So I know that. So, but they have the home crowd. So, but we can overcome that by playing well.
Coach, how do you handle the next 2 days with your team? What will you put them through Thursday, Friday?
Well, Thursday really is the finish up work week as far as more full speed stuff. Friday would be a walkthrough. I want them rested. I want their legs rested, but when they play the game, I don't want them to be tired. I mean, I think that's one of the worst things coaches do is they overtrain them, and then they don't have all their energy on game day. So we point towards game day.
How offensively do you script the first 15, 20 plays and work through that, or is that part of your style?
Yeah, that's part of what AJ does or we do. But those things are adjustable. I mean, everybody says they do 15 plays, but if you go 3 and out on one of them, or you have a 10-play drive, sometimes it changes, the next few plays. So it's still got to be adjustable no matter what plays you think you have set.
And I'm curious, Coach, and forgive me if this is a dumb question, but is the defense kind of the same? Is that set, or you just have to adjust every play to what the offense is doing?
Well, it's similar in that you think you have, it's more against personnel groups, whatever personnel group they have in defensively. They can only run certain plays from, 3 wide receivers, 2 tight end sets, whatever. And so you have your game plan set up as to what personnel they have in the game and what they can do out of that, whether it's more runs or more passes or, different plays that they can run. And so you have to set up defenses for that. And then you adjust as the game goes along. Yeah. If they're running 2 tight end offense and they're having success, you need to change something. Now, if they're not, well, then you kind of stick with your overall game plan to start with. But it's always adjustable in games. And then halftime is a big key because you have time, at least some time to make the adjustments you want going into the second half.
When you think about the way the UFL is, there's a game on Friday. You guys are playing. Do you watch the other games that are going on, or because you're getting your team ready, that's not feasible?
No, I do. I mean, if we're not having obviously we're not having a meeting or something like that the day before at that time, but I like football, so.
Well, the Friday game,
I kind of get an idea what other people are doing.
Yeah, the Friday game, St. Louis and Houston. You got St. Louis in week 2. I think I know how you feel about both of those teams. I mean, do you watch them hoping they both lose?
Yeah, I hope they tie.
Well, Coach, I got to ask you off the topic of football, the Houston Cougars. You going to keep an eye on what they're doing this weekend?
Yeah, Friday, big game Friday. So yeah, I keep up with them there. We had some great teams when I was there. So and Kevin Sampson does a great job. But they've been in the number 1 seed the last 4 years, and so hopefully this is the year they go all the way
and win it in your building, which you'll be in several weeks. You get to play now. Coach, we're leaving here in a couple hours. We're going to Vegas. We're going to do our show tomorrow and Friday at Circa Las Vegas because it's opening day of baseball in Sweet 16. And so, I'm looking at lines for this weekend. Brahmas favored by 3 with an over-under of 37.5.
Man, you guys got a tough life, don't you?
Work.
Somebody has to, right?
That's right.
Has to do it. Yeah, I don't pay much attention to the line or whatever. Just go out and play our best, and that should take care of the score.
Well, you didn't help us at all, Coach, because we were thinking about I don't know some inside info there, but that's okay. I'm glad. I'm glad the Brahmas are favored. That's good. They should be.
Last year you had no respect coming into the season. This year, that's changed. You proved them all wrong a year ago.
Yeah, we were picked last. Well, the last 2 years I was in Houston too. With the Roughnecks the year before, we picked last out of 8 teams. So we've been there before, but it doesn't matter. Obviously, it doesn't matter where you picked; it's how you play.
That's it. And we know you guys are going to go play well, Coach. I know it's been a busy day. We missed earlier, but you were like, "I've got a commitment." We little late. Whatever the fine is, head coach, you assess that penalty to yourself, and we'll talk to you next Wednesday after you beat the Renegades on Saturday. There you go.
Yeah, okay.
There you go, Coach. Appreciate you.
All right, you too. Good job, guys.
Thanks, Coach.
Wade Phillips, head coach of the San Antonio Brahmas.